Hey guys, it's JP. I've secured just under 25 million in 0% business credit for clients, but what a lot of people don't know is I've secured 607,000 in 0% business credit just for me and my own LLCs, which has resulted in 50 plus business credit cards and my wife thinking I'm a freak because I have 50 plus business credit cards. So in today's video, I just want to share with you step by step how I was able to get up to 607,000 in 0% business credit. So in the event that you want 50 plus credit cards and your significant other thinking you're a freak too, I got you. So let's hop into this. Basically, when I started my full siege, if you will, of getting 0% business credit, this actually started back in 2022 whenever my watch company basically bankrupted me, and it's actually this watch company right here. But that wasn't technically my first 0% business credit card that I ever had secured. So basically in 2019, I set up a fitness consulting LLC. I was doing a little bit of fitness consulting on the side because I was a supplement salesman. And then in 2021 is actually when I acquired my first 0% business credit card, but I actually didn't really know it was a 0% business credit card. I just was getting a credit card for the business because I'd been using my personal cards up until that point. So in 2021 is actually when I got my first card, but then the next year in 2022 is actually when the watch company went completely upside down. My business partner and I weren't agreeing. We kind of separated, and then I had a bunch of debt that was over my head, and I was considering filing for bankruptcy because I'd used a bunch of high interest dumb debt whenever we were setting up that watch company, just because I had no clue what I was doing, and I was basically had this potential of going bankrupt looming over my head. Well, at that point, I was stuck with two options. I could either file for bankruptcy or I could find a different way to wiggle my way out of the debt situation I was in. And that's when I figured out what 0% business credit was to the fullest extent. And I started going deep and diving into acquiring it. So at this point, I had an LLC that I set up in 2019, and it was just over 2 years old because it was in the fall of 2019. So I had this 2+ year old LLC. But at this time, I also had one of my old mentors tell me I need to set up additional LLCs just so I have them in the event I could, set up a management company, or if I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a CPA. I didn't really know why at the time I needed to set up more LLCs, but I did it because he recommended it. So I set up 2 more additional LLCs. Now, if you are going to go call it 100 to 200,000 in 0% business credit, you can do that with one LLC and a good credit score, and you can pretty much go make that happen if you have the right execution plan. When you're going to be getting over 500,000, or in my case 607,000 in 0% business credit, you have to have multiple entities. So at that time, I didn't realize that those multiple entities were going to serve me in the future with getting more 0% business credit. I was just setting them up because a friend had recommended it. So essentially at this time, I had everything from a company standpoint to go secure 0% business credit. The problem was my credit score was not in a position where I could go do it. At that time, since we had just came out of COVID, I was actually using my personal credit cards to pay my rent, pay for groceries, the whole 9 yards. So my utilization on my personal credit cards was something like 92%, which made my credit score just a hair over 600. Now, a 600 credit score does not cut it when you're going to acquire 0% business credit. I had multiple credit cards. I had student loans. I had a good structured credit profile. I didn't have any late payments or anything, but my utilization was through the roof, and I needed to get that down so my score would shoot up to the point where I could apply for 0% business credit. Now, at the time, I didn't know what credit score I would need, but looking back, my credit score was basically just high enough for me to start acquiring 0% business credit. So right now, whenever I onboard a client, I want to make sure they have at least a 740 personal credit score before I'm willing to go acquire capital, because I know if it's less than that, we may get approved. It's just not going to be for very much. So I actually, back then, whenever I was able to get my credit card balances down, and the way I did that was I actually had my sister co-sign on a personal loan with me, and I was able to leverage, because she was a nurse, so she had a really good job, good income, and I was able to leverage her job or her income basically to and have her co-sign on the personal loan, and then I used the personal loan funds to be able to bring my card balances down. Once that happened and my score shot up, I was able to go start acquiring 0% business credit. Now, the way I've done it now, people can do this differently. I'm just sharing step by step how I did it. And I'll kind of share like what I would recommend now versus, what I did in the past. So once my credit score was above the point where I knew I was in a position to go apply for 0% business credit, that's when I kicked the process off. Now, because I just set up 2 new LLCs, but from the digging I had done and the bankers that I've been talking to, because I was doing a lot of research trying to figure out how to get myself out of the bankruptcy situation, I pretty much found out that you need to use the oldest LLC to go through funding, because the older the LLC, the better odds of approval and the higher the amounts will be. So I took my LLC that was over 2 years old, and then that's whenever I started applying. Now, whenever I am applying, and this is something I did back then, and this is still something I do to this day. So a lot of my funding methods are things that I personally did and I've tested myself. It's not something I heard on the internet or someone else told me. A majority of what I do is based off of my own experience or what I've experienced through acquiring capital for clients. So everything is pretty much proprietary to me, not entirely, but I would say 90% of what I do. So back then what I did was I first prioritized the grade A bank. So when I first started my funding round, I even do this with clients right now. I like to start out at the top with the grade A banks, and then I move my way down to the grade B banks. So whenever I was funding my 2-year-old LLC, I basically lined up the hit list, if you will, for banks I was going to hit. And I always like to hit the grade A banks first, and that's exactly what I did. So I hit Chase, American Express, US Bank, Truist, Bank of America. I always exhaust those big name brand banks first, because they normally you just essentially have more data with them. So you just know what bureau. It's easier to find data on what bureau they're going to pull, or what their approval requirements are. You have more support if you call in. Once you get to like lower grade banks or just smaller banks, it's a lot harder to get that data and that information. So I always like to hit the grade A banks first, which is what I did. And then as soon as I exhausted those options, you move your way down and then you hit the grade B banks. Now, a grade B bank in my mind are usually credit unions and those small banks that are within your state that like they may only be in like 2 or 3 states and they just so happen to be in one of yours. That's what I consider like a grade B and C bank. So I normally use those at the end, because in a traditional funding round, like when I'm running a client, or we just as a company are running a client through a 0% business credit round, a lot of times we will usually get about 80% of the total amount that we're going to get from the grade A banks, and then we'll clean up the bottom 20% of approvals with the grade B and C banks. Again, it's very hard sometimes to use grade B and C banks because you just don't have enough data on them. Because if it's just this random bank in your state and you don't really know anyone else who's applied there, or there's no data online on Reddit or my FICO forums or anything, you don't really know what bureau they're going to pull. Are they going to ask for bank statements? You just don't really know what the story is going to be. So one thing I kind of forgot to mention earlier and I wanted to point out right now is the entire $607,000 that I've secured was actually done entirely no doc, meaning I've never actually provided a document to get a 0% business credit approval. Now, other forms of debt I've provided documents, but for 0% business credit and the $607,000, I have not provided any proof of income, proof of revenue, anything for those. So I just wanted to kind of mention that because I forgot to say that earlier. So essentially on round 1, I applied for the grade A banks, the grade B banks, and then at this point, I basically waited a year. Now, do you need to wait an entire year before you fund a different LLC? No, not necessarily. You probably could get away with doing it 6 months later, but I didn't know what I know now back then. So I actually waited a year. And then once that year was up, my LLCs that I set up a year prior now had proper age on them. And at this point, I was like, okay, well, it's time for me. This is a good point for me to go for some more credit, and I'll just do this on a different entity. The issue was that I had been using that debt for mentors, ads, trying to build the business, trying to make money. And my balances on the business cards were getting kind of high. So whenever I went through the funding round number 2, 1 year later, I actually secured a bridge loan. I used the bridge loan to be able to pay down my business cards to below 30%. Because basically, if you have, let's say, a Chase card with a 50K credit limit and you have 45,000 on that card, if you go to Chase and try to get more capital, they're just simply not going to approve the application, or they're just going to give you a micro approval. And the reason being is you have almost a maxed out card with them. They've seen that you've used the debt, but you haven't sufficiently paid it back down. So that could, to them, it looks like you're already utilizing a lot of money from them, and they don't want to just keep giving you more if you're not paying down those balances. So I had higher balances on my business card, so I secured a bridge loan. I paid those down to below 30%. And then I did the same exact thing that I did on round one. I applied at Chase, I applied at American Express, I applied at US Bank, and I just went across the line. Now, not every bank approved me. Like, I got approvals from Chase, I got some approvals from Bank of America, I got approvals at US Bank. But for instance, with Truist, I wasn't able to get more at Truist because I had already hit their cap for amount that for 0% business credit that you can secure there. They have a 25K cap on not just one business, but like across an applicant. So like for me as an applicant, I already had 25,000 at Truist. So Truist is not going to give me an additional 25,000 on a different LLC because they had already given me 25K as a whole. I've known people to get past 25K with Truist, but it's very, very rare. So this was not perfect. I did not just run across the top, get all approvals, and then just move on. This is why, when you're applying for 0% business credit, it seems so easy on the outside, but it can actually be fairly complicated because you have to really play it bank by bank. Because like if you run into a bank and they deny you and you really thought that you were going to get a lot of credit from that bank, you have to quickly, change directions and go apply at a different bank. And that's what we do at FundWithCredit.com. All the time we have clients that we think it's going to be a straightforward thing. Oh yeah, we'll just apply at these 4 or 5 banks. It's going to be awesome. We'll get them 150 and then we'll move on. Well, we come to find out that on bank number 2, the bank, for some odd reason that we don't know, denies the application or sends it into pending. And now all of a sudden we have to change directions mid funding plan. That's what happened to me in the second funding round. There was a lot of stuff I had to change up and different banks I had to apply at because it didn't go all that well. Just because for the past year, I had pretty high balances on those business cards and I did pay them down before I applied again. But sometimes that doesn't always work out too well if you just pay them down immediately. So I was able to have a successful funding round, but it was a very stressful second funding round. And then I did the same thing, grade A, went to the grade B banks, was able to scoop up as much as I can. And then after that, I waited another year. Actually, I think it was about 1.5 years after that, because at this point I had a decent bit of capital. I didn't want to just keep acquiring capital if I didn't know how to really properly use it to make money, because I had business plans, but I was still trying to figure out, how to make money as a business owner. So at this point, I got that credit and I waited about 1.5 years. Now at this stage, I was figuring out how to make money. And around this time is actually when Fund with Credit kind of got started, because I would go to events, I would talk to other business owners, and then I would tell them basically how I got, at that point I had hundreds of thousands of dollars in 0% business credit that I had secured. And a lot of them were like, well, how on earth did you do that? Like, could you do it for me? So I acquired 0% business credit for people for free for like probably 20 plus businesses. I just did it for I didn't really plan on turning it into a business. But after I realized that like my process that I had refined over the past 2 years was working very well for other businesses, that's whenever I was like, you know what, I think I need to turn this into a legitimate business. I think there's something here. And that's actually when Fund with Credit really got started. So like I've been acquiring 0% business credit for years now, but Fund with Credit as a company hasn't really been around all that long. It's been probably like 3+ years now that that Fund with Credit has been around. So at this point, I had figured out kind of my niche. I was good at something, and now the businesses were making money. And I will tell you that once you start making money, it does make acquiring 0% business credit a lot easier. And the reason being is you pretty much can just set up the bank accounts and let deposits roll in all the time. And if a bank sees deposits rolling in to their bank account on a monthly basis, when you go to apply for 0% business credit, they just give you a lot because they see a lot of your money coming in and out of their account. So for me, I started sending all my deposits to Chase. And then since I was sending my deposits to Chase and they could see that, so I didn't provide documents, but they could see money coming into the account. So when I went to apply for even more business credit, they were just giving me very high approvals. Same way with US Bank. And once you have money rolling into your accounts and your business is cash flowing, it makes it very easy to get large approvals. I mean, we had a client about 2 weeks ago. We got started with him, and he used Chase as his main bank. And he had over $100K a month rolling into his Chase account. And when we went to go get him 0% business credit, he got just under $120,000 in 0% business credit at Chase with online applications. That's absolutely bonkers. Like whenever relationship managers were super hot at Chase and you could get super high approvals there, I actually never knew anyone to get $120,000. But with this client, because he had money rolling into Chase every single month and they could see that his business was doing well, was making money. I mean, he got $120,000 or just under $120,000 with online applications between two cards. So like that's absolutely nuts. And that just simply wouldn't happen if he didn't have that revenue. I think without that revenue, he would have gotten probably somewhere between like 50 to 70,000 if I had to guess. But because he had that money coming in every month and Chase could see that, they were like, okay, yeah, we'll play ball. And they gave him almost $120K in one go on two cards. So whenever it was a year and a half later, whenever I got more 0% business credit, I went through another grade A and grade B funding round. At that point, that's whenever I had smoked that funding round. Like it was a huge funding round. And because the entity that I had was now like 2.5 years old, there was money coming into the accounts. And that's the one that pretty much pushed me over $500,000 in 0% business credit. And then from there, I've just been getting small approvals over time. Just if I see a bank that's interesting, or if I want to try out a new funding play, that's when I'll go apply. Because I have a rule at our company, which is I will not run a client through something that I have not done myself. So that's where a lot of my approvals have come from, is I just here and there will apply at different banks, try different strategies, because I want to run myself through it first before I send a client through. So that was essentially how step by step I got $607K in 0% business credit. I don't remember, just because it's been so many years in the past, like exactly how much I got on the first one, exactly how much I got on the second one. I don't know. I just know the totals that I have now. And I have I had a 40 card, like MERS is what I called it, that I kept all my credit cards in. And I actually outgrew that one about a year ago, and I had to upgrade to this one, which this one can hold, I think, like 108 credit cards. And I have about 60% of that thing utilized with credit cards. So I have a ton of business credit cards. It's just because I just acquire them over time. I like the points. The points are awesome. Obviously, I love capital. Like, I think using capital to grow your business is the smartest thing in the world. If you have a good, solid business plan and you know exactly where you can put it, it's just putting gasoline on a fire. You just grow so much faster with capital, especially if it's at a 0% interest rate and the monthly payment is abysmal, basically. So that's how I was able to do it. Just to kind of give you a 30,000 foot view and to kind of recap, essentially, you need to get over $500,000 in 0% business credit. You need multiple entities. You're going to need at least 3, because you're going to try to get 100 to 200,000 on one, 100 to 200,000 on the second one, and then 100 to 200,000 on the third one. And then getting that much 0% business credit, yeah, if you're making boatloads of money and that money is going into the bank accounts, you can probably get there faster. You could maybe get there in a year and a half, 2 years, or less, depending on how much money you're making. But for me, if I was not making money in the beginning, that was just me leveraging my company and my personal credit profile strategically to be able to acquire those limits. So it takes a little bit longer if you're in that situation. So essentially, you set up the entities. You're going to go through one funding round with LLC number 1. You're going to wait about a year, and then you're going to go through a funding round with LLC number 2. And then you're going to wait about a year and a half, and then you're going to go through another funding round with LLC number 3. That's at least what I did. And then I just scrape up little, like I said, tiny approvals here and there from different banks. And that's where I've gone over 607, or just right at 607,000 in 0% business credit. But that is all I got for you. I hope you found this useful, and I will catch you guys in the next one.